Right. Yeah, he needs to put in that additional information. Good evening, I'm Judge Payne and you are.
Courtney Burke.
Ms. Burks, I have a number of things here. I have warrants out of Pima County Justice Court for shoplifting, criminal trespass, alleged occurred on the 8th of March of this year, failing to appear on April the 15th. Charges for criminal trespass on May the 18th, failing to appear in court on June the 25th. I'll appoint Alexander Ball to represent you on this matter, given your extensive failure to appear history. Bond is $100. You're not to return to the incident locations. Your court date will be on Monday at about 1 o'clock. I also have 5 files out of Tucson City Court. Current charges for possession of paraphernalia. Charges from February the 28th for criminal trespass, 401 East 22nd Street, along with multiple failures to appear. Criminal trespass at 3200 North Oracle on July the 3rd, along with failure to appear. Possession of paraphernalia, July the 14th. Failure to appear. Possession of paraphernalia and possession of prescription-only drugs on August the 15th. Failure to appear. Bond on this will be $250. City Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you on these charges. You post the bond, your court date will be December the 17th at 9 a.m. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen on the afternoon of the 2nd, about 1:45 or so. Again, no alcohol or illegal drugs. You don't go back to 401 East 22nd Street or 3200 North Oracle. Do you understand that? All right, thank you.
Okay, go ahead and stand up.
Did you need to make copies of this? Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are,
Dakota,
and your last name?
Jake Fit.
A citation here charging you with domestic violence assault, alleged to have occurred earlier today. Your next court date's going to be December the 2nd at 10:30 in the morning. In the Pima County Justice Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
Yes, sir.
You'll be released on your signature and promise to appear. Conditions that you violate no laws, including any acts of domestic violence. And see about getting a behavioral health assessment and complying with any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Thank you, Mr. Akeford.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are,
Hi, I'm Edison Thomas Edie.
I have several things here for you.
Seriously.
I have charges out of South Tucson City Court for criminal trespass on March the 6th and failing to appear in court. I guess my big question is, what can we do to be sure to show up in court?
Like a couple months, I did go to court for a court date. I quashed a warrant, and it should be on the record somewhere. And I will show up this time. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. I'll show up. And that's about it. I did show up for a recent charge I picked up in November of last year, I believe, which was assault, and I did go to court and I took care of it. So I can do that again for this last charge.
Okay. Now, are you still in touch with Via Maria, or are you not doing any treatment right now, or?
Yes, I am in touch with I did go to another rehab in Sierra Vista, and I left, and I'm trying to get into a new rehab. I went to Casa de Vida as well, but I didn't finish, but I'm trying to get into another rehab so I can go back and finish. So I've been to two since I've been ordered to do it. And I'm going back to another so I can stay.
Okay, because you need to follow through on these things.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to be giving you 3 court dates in 3 different courts. First one in South Tucson is going to be December the 9th at 10 a.m. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You don't go back to the incident location and need to comply with behavioral health and substance abuse treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Then I have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court that goes back to May of 2023 for domestic violence, disorderly conduct, apparently not complying with terms of sentence. Your next court date on this is going to be December the 2nd at 1:30 in Pima County Justice Court. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am. I understand that now.
And also no acts of domestic violence, and you comply with whatever the sentence was on those start on that file. Then I have charges out of Tucson City Courts. Current charges for obstructing the highway. At 34th and Park. And charges for assault, disorderly conduct from December 29th of last year. Yeah, let's see what was going on. Looks like you were released by pretrial services, then you didn't show up in January. Oh, no, you were in custody apparently in January. So there's a court date on January 29th that you didn't appear on after being released. Then you were in custody in March. You were released, given a court date of April. You didn't show up in April. Warrant was issued again. Then we received information that you were at Via Maria. And I,
Yes, it was.
hold on,
I was.
quashed your warrant, gave you a court date of April the 29th, and you didn't show up then. So court date was set for June the 10th.
For some court dates, I will go this next one, I promise. And if you give me 3, I'll go to all 3. I have nothing else to do.
One more chance to appear. December the 17th at 9:30 in the morning in Tucson City Court. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You need to comply with behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas.
Okay, so am I being released?
It's time. As long as you show up at all 3 of those court dates. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Brandon Wood.
Mr. Wood. Citations charging you with domestic violence, disorderly conduct, domestic violence harassment, domestic violence criminal damage.
May I ask a question? My parents were wanting to call in to give their take on this.
That your
This
parents
is,
cannot provide any information. They would have been informed of how they can watch this, but because they are not the victims in this matter, they may not provide any information to court today.
understood, Judge. I just thought I would ask. Thank you.
But I do believe that Ms. Schulte is on the phone and wishes to provide.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go right ahead. Not facts of the case, but just indication of what you feel about conditions of release.
Yes, Your Honor. So he has not followed any of the conditions of release. He keeps showing back up, so I don't feel safe. I don't feel like they've kept him from appearing at the residence. They haven't kept him from, keeping me safe. He's been following me around town. He's been showing up wherever I am. I don't feel safe at all.
Okay.
And I really, really want.
You want no contact and no return, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Judge, I actually agree with those conditions. I no longer wish to have anything to do with Ms. Schulte. In fact, I will be proceeding with the divorce that we already have open in Superior Court.
Do you have an attorney on your two pending cases?
Yes, Judge.
And who is
Janet
it?
Altschuler, or I can't remember her last name, Alt something, Janet.
And she was appointed by the court, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll appoint Ms. Altschuler to represent you on these matters as well.
Thank you, Judge.
Given the fact that you're on release on these matters, on similar matters, you're gonna be held on a $2,500 bond. Court date will be Monday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You have absolutely no contact with Ms. Schulte.
Judge.
You don't
Yes,
live within
Judge.
3 blocks of her residence. Do you understand that?
Yes, Judge.
No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. And you work on getting behavioral health assessment and treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. It was 2,500, Your Honor.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Good evening. I'm Judge Shayad, and you are?
Julie Francis Antonio.
Santonio. An interim complaint, citation charging you with domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct, and possession of paraphernalia. Looks like I saw you on the 1st of July and told you to have no contact with Miss Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your next court date's going to be on December the 3rd at 1:30. Bond is $2,500. Again, no contact with Ms. Harris.
Okay. Mhm.
No acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Antonia.
So then I'll be
Go
held.
ahead and stand up.
That's correct. You don't feel a court order here. What happened to you? Good evening, Mr. and you are
Kelly Jones,
Miss Jones. I have quite a number of things here for you.
I know, uh,
How about you let me tell you about them first, okay? I have current charges for criminal trespass and possession of paraphernalia. Alleged occurred early this morning, the city of 5532 East Speedway. I have charges that go back to July 29th of 2018. Along with failures to appear. Most recently, it looks like in December of last year. Shoplifting at 7050 East 22nd Street on August 27th of 2019.
oh, gone, and
Charges for criminal damage and disorderly conduct. July 29th of 2021. Again, along with failures to appear after you were released in December of last year. Charges for disorderly conduct and criminal damage, and possession of paraphernalia on December the 4th of 2023, again, along with failures to appear. Charges possession of prescription-only drug, possession of paraphernalia, failing to provide identification. November 22nd of 2024. And charges for occupying or remaining out of traffic median on April 19th of this year, failing to appear in court. We'll reappoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond is $250. Your court date's December the 1st at 1:45. That's whether you're in or out of custody. You don't go back to these incident locations, primarily 5532 East Speedway, 7050 East 22nd Street, and Sister Jose's. No alcohol or illegal drugs.
I already did all those. I already did all those charges a long time ago.
No, you haven't shown up in court on them,
Yes, I did.
not according to our files. All right, so talk to your attorney about it. Good evening, I'm Judge Shaden. You, sir, are
What's up, Pablo?
Mr. Pablo. I've got current citations charging you with possession of paraphernalia. I have charges from September the 6th for shoplifting at 711 East Golf Links and possession of paraphernalia. Charges for shoplifting on July 11th of this year, 3910 East 22nd Street, same place you were arrested today. Again, with possession of paraphernalia, failing to be in court on July the 24th. You were then in custody on October the 31st, on August 31st. Pretrial services released, you gave a court date of October the 2nd, and you didn't appear.
I was never in custody.
You were arrested and brought down to the jail. You were never seen by a judge because pretrial services released you.
Oh, yeah, yeah, sorry about that, yeah.
Charges for shoplifting again at that same location at 22nd and Alvernon, 3910 East 22nd Street. Along with possession of paraphernalia on August the 31st, and again, failing to appear on October the 2nd. What makes me think you'll show up in court if you're given a court date?
Sure, there's nothing else I could do. I mean, I gotta take care of it, take care of it.
Well, but you haven't been.
I mean, there's, it's just living situation has been going on and been trying to find places to stay. Right now I'm homeless and it's kind of been the way, but I mean, we gotta go to jail, they gotta go to jail. That's no place to live.
I'm going to give you one more chance. You're in Tucson City Court on December the 30th at 9 o'clock in the morning. In front of Judge Mayhew in courtroom, I think she's in courtroom 6 now. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You get signed up for and start substance abuse assessment and treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You don't go back to 3910 East 22nd Street. You don't go back within 3 blocks of there. You understand that?
Yes.
You don't go back to 711 East 22nd Street. And I suggest you get in touch with your attorney and don't discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney.
Okay.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Pablo.
Thank you.
Bryce,
Price. Price.
Good evening. I'm Judge you, sir.
My name is Gareth Price.
Mr. Price. Citations charging you with domestic violence assault and domestic violence disorderly conduct. Alleged
Yeah, sure.
what was your residence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your next court date is going to be January the 6th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court.
Tucson City Court.
Conditions of
Okay.
release include you remain within the state of Arizona unless you receive
Yes.
permission from the court to leave the state. You violate no laws. You have no contact with Kyle Krogsberg. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't go back to a residence except once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
Behavioral health assessment and beginning your recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you need help with finding an agency or with temporary housing, you can talk to the transition center, which is right outside the jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Price.
if we wanted a chunk. Yeah.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are Mr. Schmidt. I have a number of things. Got current charges charging you with possession of paraphernalia. Alleged to occurred earlier today. I have charges from October the 18th for remaining on a traffic median. We have an older file here for domestic violence. Disorderly conduct, possession of paraphernalia. Looks like you've been seen on this a variety of times. And haven't managed to show up in court. Charges for criminal trespass. March 5th, or excuse me, September 5th of 2023. Failing to appear in court. Criminal trespass at 3275 North Swan. In May of this year, failing to appear. Criminal trespass again. Same general location. Along with possession of paraphernalia. Possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass on August 15th of this year. Failing to appear in court. Possession of paraphernalia on September 29th of this year. Failure to appear in court. Possession of paraphernalia and possession of prescription-only drugs, October the 10th of this year. Failing to appear in court. We'll appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond will be $250. If you post that bond, your court date will be December the 29th at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Tucson City Court. If you haven't posted it, it will be December the 2nd at about 1:45. Although your attorney may ask that that be moved based on the status of plea negotiations, things like that. If you're out of custody, no alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. Beginning right now, and you've already been ordered this twice, no contact with Ashlyn Brown. You don't go near her residence or workplace. You don't go to the vicinity of Speedway and Craycroft. You don't go within 3 blocks of 3215 North Swan. You don't go to 4702 East Speedway. You're out of custody, substance abuse assessment, and recommended treatment. Do you understand that? Do you understand that, Mr. Schmidt?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. I just signed 2 and 3. I think that's all. All right, thank you, Mr. Schmidt.
Out the door, have a seat with the mail.
Great.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shayad, and you are,
As Maria Green.
Ms. Green, citation here charging you with domestic violence assault alleged to occur in the city residence earlier this morning. Your next court date on this matter is going to be December the 2nd at 10:30 in the morning in the Pima County Justice Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Conditions of release, no acts of domestic violence, and you see about getting a behavioral health assessment and any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Green.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are,
Aid, Exxon,
I caught your first name, but not the rest of it.
Aid, Exxon,
You want to spell that for me? It doesn't appear to match with what I have.
KTADE, Eckstein, ECK, STINE.
Okay. Hold them out of order on me, Dale.
He's a keepsake.
He's actually a keepsipper, Your Honor.
Uh, that's not noted. All right. Mr. Eckstein. Interim complaint charging with cruelty to animals, possession of paraphernalia. So we'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and if either counsel wish to be heard on conditions.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you. Yes, Your Honor, he has no felony convictions. He's a lifelong resident of Tucson with ties to the community. He is currently homeless and unemployed and unable to post any significant amount of bond. I request that you set the bond at $500.
Preliminary hearing date will be December the 2nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. Bond is $1,000. You post the bond, you'll be in a institution of pretrial services. No contact with any domestic animals. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment is available in custody or under the direction of pretrial services if you are out of custody. Other than in the course of those assessments, I would suggest that you not discuss these matters with anyone except your attorney. I also have some files out of Tucson City Court. Charges that go back to March 2nd of 2022 for criminal damage, along with failures to appear on multiple occasions, and charges for possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs, and shoplifting on May 5th of 2023, again, along with failures to appear. Your next court date on these is going to be December the 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Tucson City Court. If you're out of custody, you need to appear. If you're in custody, then the City Public Defender's Office will appear on your behalf. You're not to go back to either incident location, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Again, behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and recommended treatment. Thank you, Mr. Eckstein. Good evening, I'm Judge Shadid. You are
Gary Cox.
Mr. Cox. An interim complaint here charging you with possession of dangerous drug, possession of narcotic drugs, and possession of paraphernalia. The state is dismissing those charges. That is a dismissal without prejudice, which means that they may refile those charges at a later date. However, I also have numerous files here for you out of Pima County Justice Court. Charges from February 28th of last year for shoplifting, failing to appear in April of 2025, and it looks like again in October of 2025.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Charges for false reporting to law enforcement officers and shoplifting on May 13th of 2023. Looks like you were supposed to be in court in October.
I lost track of the dates and I was planning on going down. I was gonna go a week ago and car wasn't running and I just didn't make it. But I was planning on getting caught up on all this stuff.
Let's see, then we have another set of charges from August the 26th for knowingly displaying false plate and failing to appear. We'll appoint Jeffrey Grinkowitz to represent you on these charges. Given your extensive failure to appear history, he's got new charges for driving on a suspended license as well. Bond will be $500. Court date will be the 24th. That's Monday at 1 o'clock. No alcohol, no illegal drugs. You don't drive with a valid license. You don't go back to incident locations, and behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. I'd suggest that other than in the course of these assessments and treatments that you not discuss these matters with anyone except your attorney. Take me a few minutes to finish your paperwork and then you'll be all set. So I've got to do the paperwork individually on each of them, so it just takes a few moments. When we had, all right, thank you, Mr. Cox. When we had South Tucson and JP, I did South Tucson first. It transferred to JP. Here I had 4 JPs. So I did redo every single one. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
Alonzo Johnson Jr.
You've got a lot of things here, so I had to go through and find the paperwork that I need for this first one. I have a warrant here out of Pima County Superior Court charging you with shoplifting.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but last time that I was in court, I remember her dropping that. I forgot she had dropped it because they had came and beat me up for no reason. I don't know, because I had stole some
You really don't want to talk about facts. You really don't want to talk about that. All right.
of rude. My bad.
We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Arraignment date, again, is on December the 1st at 1:30. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
You're welcome for today. I just want to note that I did increase the bond amount requested originally for the reason that the defendant has so many other pending matters and failed to appear that I don't know if that information was made available when the bond was ordered.
And Your Honor, he's lived in Tucson for 7 years and has ties to the community. He is currently not employed and doesn't have extra money to post a bond. He would like to be released. If the court intends to impose a bond, I request that it be $500.
Just to make it clear, I have 6 misdemeanor files, 5 of which have failures to appear. All right. A bond will be $500. Pretrial services if the bond is posted. No return to the incident location. As well as standard conditions of violating no laws, remaining in the state of Arizona, etc. All right, let's try and match up paperwork with. I have a warrant here, charges from August 13th of this year. For domestic violence, criminal damage, domestic violence, criminal trespass. Failing to appear on August the 26th.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, there's one more.
Bond on this will also be $500. You need to comply with previous conditions of release. Anna Dennis is appointed to represent you. Your court date will be Monday, the 24th at 1 o'clock.
So something, I get out on preacher, if I do get on preacher on both things or no?
Whoops, did we want to go back and appoint Douglas Taylor since he was previously appointed? All right, I will go back and fix that. So I'm going to adjust your attorney on that. It's going to be Douglas Taylor. They're charged for theft, June 30th of 2023, along with failure to appear. Same court date of November 24th at 1 o'clock. No contact with the alleged victims. You need to abide by all previous conditions of release. They have charges for criminal trespass, January 28th of 2024. Failures to appear on that matter as well. Then I have charges for criminal damage, May 25th of 2024, criminal trespass. Again, along with failures to appear. Charges from July 12th of this year for shoplifting. Looks like you were supposed to be in court later in July. And we have new charges for criminal trespass, which occurred early this morning.
I'm sorry. Judge, may I say something?
You may, although it's not always advisable to do that.
That charge, that charge, I cut through the Circle K property
If you were told not to go to Circle K, that's why.
to get to the bus stop that was right there. That it's right in front of everybody. I've been through, I go, this is the like, out of the blue, he comes and he stops me way down the street.
Well, you really don't want to talk about facts of the case. Number
I-
one.
I
And number
understand that.
two, if you're told not to go to Circle K, you don't go anywhere near that Circle K. You
But
don't go
the
near
bus
that
stop is
property.
right in front of
Well-
it. Like it's literally in front of Circle K. I can't like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody goes around the property to get to the bus. Everybody
Well-
just
well-
cuts right through.
Well, not everybody's been told not to go to Circle K.
And I understand that, but
Okay.
and nobody,
Anyway, this will be set with the other matters. You'll talk to your attorney about it.
and I'm sorry if I came off disrespectful.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And yeah, I had to do every one of those.
We'll have a seat down. There's one.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Jake Ledesma.
Mr. Ledesma. Enter a complaint charging of third-degree burglary, criminal damage, and theft.
Yes, Your Honor.
You'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well,
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
preliminary hearing date's December the 12th at 1:30. You'll be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services. You'll participate in monitoring and treatment under their direction, including behavioral health assessment and treatment as directed by pretrial services. You don't have any contact with any of the alleged victims. You don't go back to that incident location. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'd suggest you not discuss the matter with anyone except your attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi, Your Honor.
And his adult probation placed a hold at this point? Jail?
No holds.
Ms. Ledesma, interim complaint charging you with aggravated domestic violence alleged to have occurred earlier today. Will appoint public defender's office to represent you, and did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. She's a lifelong resident of Tucson with ties to the community. She doesn't have money to post a $10,000 bond. I request that you set the bond in this case at $3,000.
Preliminary take is December the 2nd at 1:30. Bond will be $10,000. Given the history, I think that's a reasonable bond. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with like victims. You don't go near the victim's residence and workplaces or the other incident location. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And I'd suggest you not discuss the matter with anyone except your attorney. If you post the bond, you'll be released to pretrial services under those same conditions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Morales.
That's great.
Even.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shada, and you, sir, are
Stephen Gewis.
Mr. Kewis. I have an interim complaint here charging you with criminal damage and trafficking in stolen property alleged to have occurred on or about November the 4th. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he's a lifelong resident of Tucson with ties to the community. I'd ask you set the bond at 15,000.
Given that the state could request no bond, their $20,000 request is reasonable, given the value of the alleged items. Preliminary hearing date will be December the 2nd at 1:30. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with those victims. You don't go back to the incident location. I also have an interim complaint charging you with possession of dangerous drugs and possession of paraphernalia. On that matter, it appears that you may be eligible to participate in a diversion program known as, referred to as STEPS. Requires you to do series of counseling, for a brief period of time. If you successfully complete it, then those charges would be dismissed before they're formally charged. Did you wish to explore that option?
Yes, yes, I would.
Did either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions on this matter?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Just to keep things clean, we'll set a bond of $250. Steps hearing will be December 1st at 9. Preliminary hearing December 2nd at 1:30. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening, and you, sir, are
Robert Romero.
Mr. Romero, in complaint charges narcotic drug possession and possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. It appears that you may be eligible to participate in the diversion program. Did you hear me explain that to the gentleman before you?
Your Honor, he would like to participate in the STEPS program.
In time waived for preliminary hearing.
Yes.
Steps hearing, December the 1st at 9 o'clock in the morning. You're going to be released to the third-party custody pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Preliminary hearing date right now is set for January the 6th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Be sure you stay in touch with your attorney and with pretrial services and comply with steps. Thank you, Mr. Romero. Yes, you'll be released on these matters to the third-party custody pretrial services.
So let's
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Frankie Silvas.
Mr. Silva. I have three things here for you. A warrant out of Pima County Superior Court charging you with unlawful flight from law enforcement alleged to have occurred on or about October 5th of last year. Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on this charge. Set a preliminary or an arraignment date of December the 1st at 1:30, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
This note, I also elevated the bond amount. After reviewing the file, I do see that the defendant committed this offense while he was on parole. That was also the basis for the increase and the information that we have on the other matters.
And Your Honor, he's a 2 on the FTA scale. He's a lifelong resident of Tucson. I'd ask you set the bond at 2,000.
Now, this is on the arraignment matter. Okay. All right, bond will be $2,000. Arraignment date will be December 1st at 1:30. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, including simulated weapons, toy weapons, anything that looks like it could be a weapon. Behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment is available while in custody and under the direction of pretrial services if you are out of custody. I also have two new charges.
What was that? Well,
I have another charge of unlawful flight from law enforcement alleged to have occurred on September the 17th.
is it, okay. Sure.
Either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions on the new charge of unlawful flight.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would just note that the defendant committed this new offense after about 4 months after he had finished a sentence for the same offense that he had served a term in prison.
Your Honor, he's a lifelong resident of Tucson. He's a 2 on the FTA scale, so he doesn't have a significant failure to appear history. I request that you set the bond on this at 3,000.
All right, bond on this one will be $5,000. Preliminary hearing date's December the 2nd. Again, behavioral health and substance abuse assessment, treatment, no alcohol, illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, or any simulated weapons.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then we have additional new charges for aggravated assault with a simulated weapon. And does either counsel wish to be heard on conditions on this matter?
Your Honor, the basis of the recommendation, it's mostly because of the nature of the offense and who was the listed victim.
And yes, Your Honor, based on the reasons I previously stated, I'd ask you set the bond in this case at 5,000.
All right, bond on this one will be $5,000. Pretrial services if the bond is posted. No contact with the alleged victims, no returning to the incident locations. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment. Thank you, Mr. Silvas.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Bab, I'm sorry, I should have excused you ages ago.
No worries, Judge. I hang around just in case. So, no problem. Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond 12.
Solomon.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are
Solomon Tadeo.
Mr. Tadeo. I have a warrant here out of Nogales for aggravated assault, failing to comply with court order, unlawful imprisonment, and 2 other counts of assault. I'll reduce the bond on this to $750. If you post the bond, you need to contact Nogales Justice Court for your next court hearing. If you don't post the bond and they don't come to pick you up, there will be a review hearing in Pima County Justice Court on December 23rd at 9 a.m. But no alcohol, illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with the alleged victims, and you don't go into the victim's residence or workplaces. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Tadeo. And that's all I have.